99% of tourism businesses have been negatively affected by the coronavirus pandemic. That's according to a recent study by the Tourism Business Council of South Africa, and this is together with the Department of Tourism. What it does is that it reveals that the lockdown has rendered the tourism sector totally inactive. So for more on this, I'm joined now by the Tourism Business Council of South Africa's CEO, Chifiwa Chivengwa. Chifiwa, thanks a lot for joining us this evening. So 43% of businesses within the sector have had to do away with more than half of their staff. Is this across the tourism value chain?
No, absolutely. It is across the tourism value chain, and it is across many companies, big and small, that are doing away with a lot of people that are employed. What we have projected, on this study is that, already now 160,000 people without a job, so to speak. And what I've seen so far on the UIF program that we have been doing, on the TS program to get the relief, I have seen so far 50,000 applications that have come through over the past 3 weeks. So it means that in the next month, I'm expecting another 50,000. On top of that, we will be looking at 100 to 150,000 people that will be applying for UIF. So it is a problem, and we have a lot of people in the industry that are freelancers, that are perhaps not, under UIF, or were not paying UIF. Those are the people that were tour guides, that were doing it, in townships and many other places. So we are looking at, a huge problem within the tourism sector, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs.
And stats are pointing towards a recovery of the sector in 2021. Is that true?
Look, from our side, we don't want the sector to recover then. We want it to start having some economic activities now. So there are certain things that we believe could be opened because, they are safe to do. From business, travel point of view, you have a lot of people that are now driving long distances. So we need to look at, how do we open up the domestic aviation so that there could be at least some airlines flying? How do we look at a regional, airlines that are flying point to point and ensure that, at least there is some economic activity? If we wait until 2021, there won't be any tourism left. There won't be any companies left. And surely, the entire 1.5 million people that are supported by tourism will be without a job. So we cannot wait that long. We are de-risking certain aspects. We have developed what we call the industry protocols, which are going to be used, to reopen our sector, to ensure that, there is social distancing. We protect our employees, we protect our customers. And we have had some few examples that we've done through the quarantine sites of various hotels that are still being used. So we have some protocols. We are following the world standard, even in aviation, to ensure that we return to some level of economic activity. If we wait longer, there wouldn't be anything to wait for. So there isn't any more time for us to not to protect these jobs that we have. 1.5 million jobs, and an industry that contribute 8.6% to GDP, and millions or billions of foreign money that's been earned by the country. I think that we need to look at alternative ways to get some activities going to ensure that the people that are not employed or people that are now outside of the job, they can return. Just remember, tourism employs more people than mining. So we are an important part of this sector. And the survey that we've done shows that if we do nothing at all and we wait until 2021 or even at the end of this year, we won't have anything left in the tourism space.
Yeah. Chifiwa, we know that South Africa is known as a tourism destination, really. And if we have to apply innovation in the hope of salvaging or stimulating the tourism sector, particularly during a coronavirus pandemic, what would that stimulus actually look like? Let's be practical now about it. What kind of implementation innovations can be implemented to ensure that some jobs are salvaged at this moment?
There are various things that we need to implement. Everyone has been talking about, protocols in terms of social distancing and all those things, so that we can implement. The next thing is to ensure that, whatever activities that we can do, virtually, those needs to be done. I've seen some few companies that are doing safari virtually and some interest that have come through. But once again, those activities are not necessarily what tourism is meant to be. So tourism is about getting out, having an adventure, and we believe that, those things that are about getting out and having an adventure with lesser people involved are safe to do. There are certain things that one can do. You can get in your car, you can drive to the Drakensberg, you can rent a home, or go to the hotel or B&B, and you can stay there safely and be able to do some activities, that are safe to do, and without many people that are there. So we believe that there has to be some level of consideration given, for people to be able to do those things. Yeah. We talk about wearing masks. We talk about, people must always wear masks. And those are the things that we're implementing as well. So people should be able to fly wearing masks. And we should be able to get the experts, that are in aviation to tell us, about the aircrafts, how they are built, the circulation of the air, and so forth and so on.
Chifiwa, for the sake of time, we're going to have to leave it there for this evening. But thanks a lot for joining us. Chifiwa Chivengwa, the CEO of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa.